I'm out here on Lake of the Woods 2022-2023 ice season for my first time ice camping this year in a black hole ice shack with the ATV. I'm gonna go through my setup. Hopefully it gives you some ideas. I did a video like this last year. I'm gonna link that down below. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's go ahead and jump in. So this is my ATV. It's a CFMOTO 600 Touring. It's a 2021 series, so it's a 2-up, super powerful. Got the big light bar on the front, got the Otter monster box on the back. I'll do a full video just on the ATV setup that I use for ice fishing. I do a different setup for if I'm doing ice camping and I need to tow, or hole hopping and just basically living on the ATV all day, hopping around. So subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Look out for that video, it's coming here soon. And then what I'm camping in is the black hole ice shack. So this is the beast model. This is a 2023 year model. This is a 14-foot shack with a 12-foot canvas, 6'6" wide, and it's got a 3-foot V up front. I'm gonna be doing another video just on the shack and what's new about it this year. They made some big improvements in the canvas for this year versus last year, which I'm really excited about. One of the big things that's new this year that I did not have last year is if you see on the back here, there's a 2-foot deck off the back. That is actually incredibly useful. You can see I can step out of the back door here, right onto this back deck, and then I can get into this box. This is a box that I have out here. I only bring it out if I'm using my ATV to get out. If I'm pulling the black hole with the truck, I don't need it because I got the back of the truck. But this is where I can store extra lights, bags, containers, extra propane tanks, basically anything I don't want out in the weather. Keeps it nice and dry from the snow and the weather. And then I got my Otter rod box. I only use this now if I have my ATV out because it goes right on the side of the monster box. Otherwise it's huge, that's why it's sitting outside. But this is the outside of the shack. Let's go ahead and jump inside. So as we walk in, what we can see in the back here is a 4-foot folding table. This is the same table that I used last year. What I've got on the table, this is just where I've got some hats and stuff right now. I brought probably too many. This is my power box or power supply unit, if you will, that I'm gonna be using. I don't have a generator out here, but even when I do, I'll be using this so that way I can stay out here with power being consumed with pretty much everything in here for a period of time without running the generator. I do have other batteries that I'm gonna show you here in a little bit that I would not bring out if I have the generator, but this thing's great. This is the Ace Volt. I think it's called like a Camp Power 2000. Oh yeah, it says right here. This is the Ace Volt 2000 watt portable power station. So this can put out 2,000 watts. Can run basically anything that you want off of it. You've got DC outputs here. So I'm gonna have something rigged up here so I can run like my lights and all of that off of it. We've got 4 USB type A ports, 2 USB-C ports. We've got a light. And then I've got on this side, I've got 6 outlets as well on that side. So this thing is gonna be like my base station. You can see I'm charging a couple battery packs and things right now. On top of it, I've got 2 carbon monoxide detectors. I like to, just in case, you never know, I can put them in a little bit different areas in the shack overnight. But these I swear by, make sure you have at least one of them in your shack if you're gonna be doing some winter ice camping. Below the table, what we've got is just a little space for some storage. I've got my camera box here. This is what all my camera gear goes in. I've got a cooking bin back there with some of the necessities like fish batter and whatnot. My jet boil sits on top. And then I've got some of my food in this box, in this bag. And then you're gonna see 2 100 amp hour Life PO4 batteries hooked up in here. So those 2 batteries in combination with the Ace Volt is getting the power done in here for 3 days out on the ice. So this works out really well for me. Next to the table is the Engel Live Bait Cooler. This is the 19 quart, works out really well for multi-day trips. I've got a battery box in the back. This is just to help top up a few things again, since I don't have the generator out here. Right now I've got plugged into it the lithium aerator. I'm using the Engel lithium aerator and absolutely love it. We're gonna go up before we go over to the bed area. So if we go above, we've got Hog outdoor lights here. We've got Otter outdoor lights here. And then in the front 2 bars, we've got Hog outdoor lights. The Hog outdoor lights are my go-to lights for this year. I did a test last year. That video is coming out soon as well, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. These are just 2 of the lights that I have left from the Otter. I had a few of them break. The Hog outdoor lights have stood up to the test of all of my brutality that I put these things against. Over here, we've got 2 fans up top, the same 2 fans as last year. These things are wonderful. They help because the heater is directly below it. You can use any heater that you want. I'm using the Heat Hog heaters this year. I like the tilting design in them and a few other features. Check out that video if you want as well. But that heat goes straight up. It hits those fans and it blows down onto the ground to melt any snow or ice or dry out the floor up front. And then the other fan does the same thing in the back where it'll take care of the floor back here. I just recently have been in and out a lot, so it's not dried up right now. And obviously you can tell I have the fan off, but that works out absolutely wonderfully. If we move over to the bedside here, what we've got is I've got coat hooks. I didn't show you that, but I have a coat hook in every corner. Right now I've just got a hoodie hanging there. And then I've got the same sleeping bag, same mattress pad underneath the, like, love these things. They're awesome. Of course, I've got my duffel bag and whatnot on the top here. But what's new for this year that I did not have last year is this guy. This is the Slumberjack. I've had this for many, many years. I pulled it out of my garage. It's a cot, a Slumberjack cot. What's great about it is you have, I think it's 3 bars. Yeah, so you get a bar here. There's a bar in the middle that you can see for support. And then there's a bar all the way in the back that you might be able to see for support. The reason why I like that is there's not bars going through here, so you can actually store things under it. You have pretty good clearance, so you can see I've got some bags over there, water, energy drinks, extra containers, because this is my first trip out. I just set a lot of this stuff up, so most of the time I will not bring this much gear out here. And then I've got other containers here for electronics and other things for the shack as well. If you remember last year, I'll put a photo here so that you can see it, but I had the bunk cots in here. They were good. A couple things that I like about this setup better. One, it's lower, so you can actually use this as a work surface, right? So if I had, you know, jigs or rods like I was doing yesterday getting set up, I can just throw stuff out here. I can throw tackle boxes out here, all my lighting and wiring stuff to be able to get it all set up. You can use it as a work surface. It also is the perfect height to sit on and fish from. So what works out awesome is you can sit on it like this. So you can kind of see I'm sitting on the bench and I can jig, I can talk to the person next to me here, I can see out the windows. Everything is just a lot better being able to have the cot at this height. The other thing that I really like about this cot is it takes approximately 1 minute to set up. You unfold it, there's a bar here, a bar there, and that's it, you're done. It is not light. It is still decently heavy. It's about half the weight as the disco bunk beds that I had before. So you do cut some weight. You don't have the extra level. I thought I would need it for storage, but since I can fit everything underneath, I don't actually need it for storage. So this thing's awesome. I highly recommend it. I'll see if I can't find a link to this. I'm gonna link everything that I talked through down below in the description. So if you get ideas from this and you wanna check it out, go ahead and use those links down below. They do help out the channel. Some of them are affiliate links, some of them are not. This guy, I'll try to find, get a link to it down below. I have no clue how expensive it is. Like I said, I've had it for like 5 years. Pulled it out of my garage because I'm like, I'm done dealing with the hassle and the time and the weight of those disco bunk beds, especially if it's just one guy out here by himself. As we keep moving, so this is where I've got cameras. So I'll show you the cameras here. You can kind of see, there we go, a little bit better lighting. I've got a GoPro here. GoPro shoots to the front, so that way I've got a back shot of the holes and everything over here. Up here, I've got another GoPro above the front door. This is getting a top-down shot, so that way I can see all of the holes above, so you can see fish releases and whatnot. Make sure that you check out my fishing video. There should be one coming out soon, so you can see all the different camera angles in action, but I like the idea of having the other angles. And then I've got another GoPro in this front corner that you can see here. That gets that wide angle shot, something kind of like this, so that way you can see me there. And then in the corner on a power box, I've got the A cam. So this is the primary camera that's doing the face shot of where I sit when I'm out here filming and shooting. So 3 GoPros in 1 primary camera. I'm currently shooting with my backup primary camera. They're the same camera, different lens on it though. So moving from the GoPro to the front corner, I've got another coat hook. Got a couple of different suits here. I've got the Black Hole Outdoors Ice Shack suit. This thing's great. It is not a float suit, but for the price, you can't beat the warmth, the comfort, and the features in it. So I like wearing that when I just got to throw something on. If you want super warm and you want a float suit, this is the Apex Striker suit. It is a form-fitting suit. I also had the Climate last year. I really like this suit. Other corner here, we've got another coat hook. So this is where I'll put like my bibs, my other jackets, and things like that. Just get them in the corners, get them out of the way, so that way I don't have to take up sitting space, table space, bed space to be able to put all that stuff. So hoodies in the back. Hats, normally I would hang up there. For some reason, I got lazy and did not do that for this video. So now, as we get to the foot of the bed here, what we've got, right now I've got 2 tackle bags in here. Like I told you, this is my first trip out. I wanted to make this video to show you guys how I got it set up. Normally I'd only have one of these with. I'm transitioning from the Ego Cryptic bag that I used last year to a little bit bigger bag and lighter bag with more features and functions on it. This is the Clam backpack. Again, link down below in case you want to check it out. I think it's called their Ultimate Backpack. What I like is you got all of these tool holders and slots on the sides and everything's lanyarded. insulated, right? So if I take a tool out, I can just easily slip it back in there. This works out phenomenal. Tons of space there. So these will sit here next to my chair. On the chair, this orange thing. So this is a heated cushion. This thing's awesome. It doesn't have much cushion to it, but it does have heating elements in it, the back and the bottom. They also make one that is just for the chair, or like a stool or a bucket that you have if you want. What's great about it is it does have a USB-C end that you can see here. I've got it plugged into this guy. So this is the Rockpals portable power supply unit. This is what in my last year's video I had in that corner. I had to go to something more powerful because this only has 300 watts out. That is a problem when I'm charging multiple things with the AC power, and it only is 2,808 watt hour, which is limiting in terms of how much battery I'm going to be able to charge, power lights, those types of things. But what is absolutely wonderful about it is it does have a USB power delivery port on the front of it. I'll kind of take this out so you can see it. I highly recommend this unit. A couple things that I really like about it is you do have your wattage output. You'll have your wattage input as well, so you can do solar input, you can plug it in, you can do DC input. You've got your battery meter to tell you what percentage is left as well. And then you've got all the different ports that you want. You've got an AC port, you got USB, USB-C. I'm using the 30 watt power delivery USB-C. So I think this requires about 25 watts to run on high for this to work. I can run this for about 12 hours off of this thing here. So as you know, heated things take a lot of power. So this is what I'm using for that, and I absolutely love it. It works out really well. You may be asking yourself, why the heck do you have a heated pad, Alex? What the heck is going on? So when it is really cold, so those negative 40-degree nights and whatnot, one of the things that happens is I've got my heater up here, I've got the fans up here, fan blows up here, which is great, fan blows back there, which is great. I don't like to have it crank so high that I have a heat issue with the cameras. Cameras, since they're located across the ceiling, so you have that top-down shot, you have a better angle for filming, you can see better for the fish catches, heat rises and it will overheat the camera. So I can't have it super hot in here, otherwise it'll get to like 150 degrees on the ceiling, which we can't have. So two options that I have. One, because I'm sitting in my chair here, right, which this is the same chair as last year, the Muddy Paws swivel. I think it's actually a hunting chair, but it's awesome. It's got like a hydraulic lift on it and whatnot. But I can either sit in the chair here with a little heater, so you can see, I put it here so you can kind of see, I haven't actually used it a whole ton this trip because I have the heated pad, but I can use this heater to heat my backside or the side of me that's potentially coming from the door area. This is not a hard-sided shack. It is a very well insulated shack, but sometimes you do get that little bit of chill, if you know what I mean, where it's hot from one side, it's cold from the other. This will take either the nip out of the air, or I don't even need that. I bring it anyways because you got to have backup heat just in case something happens to your primary heater if you're doing ice camping out here. So I use this instead, and then I don't even need to run that guy, which is great as long as you've got power to hook up to. This is a lot more feasible if you're only doing maybe 3 days on the ice, if you've got all these extra battery power packs. Otherwise, bring a generator and you can run this thing all day and no issues at all. Then I've got my primary hole here. So this is my primary dead stick hole. So I'll minnow and whatnot on a dead stick. And then as we can see here, here's the front door. And so if I'm sitting in my chair here, this is where that heater is. I can run it here. I can move it out if I want. I just run this off a 1-pound propane tank if I need it. And then I've got, this is an Otter sidekick that I got on a bucket just to store stuff in. But then I've got the Otter rod holder here, and I have an Otter rod holder here. So that's where my dead stick goes to here. And this is where I've got my jigging rod that usually goes there, or another dead stick. Try to keep it a little ways away from the angle on the front because you can see that the front angles in just a little bit. And the reason why I want that is so that way I can use the 3 rod holders in the back of the sidekick without them hitting the front. Plus I've got space for my coats and whatnot, which what that does is it allows me to free up space to put my boots. I leave the cleats on them up front. That's what's super great about these Black Hole Ice Shack units is these floors. These are like core ice floors, same exact material, fully insulated, super lightweight, heavy duty. You're not gonna worry about beating it up with those scratchers on the bottom of those things, no matter what spikes you got. So this is what I got on the sidekick. Then I've got my bump board. This is my walleye bump board. It's a musky bump board, but this is the walleye size, so it goes up to 36 inches. Then I've got my live scope unit. Yes, this is the brand new, I'm super excited. This is the brand new Summit CNC cut HDPE plastic shuttle. It is 5 pounds empty, fully rigged with everything that you need. You don't need to assemble it. It already comes assembled. I've got my Garmin 8610 XSV GPS map unit screen on there, 48 amp hour, amped outdoors NMC battery. Look at this. It's got a UV light in the front. I gotta create like a shield for it so I'm not looking into it every time I click it on. 2 USB ports. I've got one of them plugged into my screen recorder. Master power switch, and then an SAE port to be able to charge, which I run a charger up, set it on there into an extension cord, and I can either run it back to those units or to a generator outside. This hole right here next to it is for the live scope transducer. So this is my pole, so I can move it around. If I have it set up correctly, I don't have any lines down now because I'm filming, but I can set it up so that I can actually see that hole and that hole at the same time in down view, which is my favorite. And then we've got the heater. I really hope this video gave you some ideas for your ice camping gear setup. Check out the other video that I have on the screen here. I've got a ton more coming out this year. So if you like this stuff, comment down below what you want to see more of. If you have questions on any of it, I try to reply to every comment. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take it easy.